Hey Ma, do you know what bursts my bubble?
What bursts your bubble?
Expectations of people. I'm 35 years old, and sometimes I expect, parents or friends or ex-girlfriends to intervene and,
Make things good
and do things for me. But realistically speaking, ex-girlfriends, for example, are not my mother. You know what I mean? And or not my father. Realistically, if people prove they won't intervene, and at 35 years old, take responsibility and take accountability. And sometimes you gotta just really take accountability for your shortcomings and not expect people to help you.
Live your life,
help you, because you're going to be let down. And some people, you can prove time and time again that they will let you down and they won't intervene. And they'll just watch you do what you do, and that's just what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
People, like if you're talking about relationships, even friends, most of the time they want to be around you when you're happy and when you're positive but your good friends are there for you when you're at your low point, but they can't live your life for you.
Right.
They can be there, they can be supportive, but they can't live your life.
I know, like you see this quote on social media. Everybody's there for you at your best, but when you're at your worst, nobody's there for you.
That's not true.
It's just, some people are for you.
Some people will go out of their way.
Some people will go out of their way to be for you at your darkest times.
And those are the people you should cherish.
And even sometimes it's like, sometimes you put up like the security shield and you say to everybody, get away from me when you're feeling extremely self-conscious and defective and damaged and vulnerable. And so sometimes, you need to let love into your life, and you need to accept the help. You know what I mean?
And love back.
Yeah.
Don't be angry, don't be bitter. Love back. Even when somebody's hurt you, love back, because when you do that, you heal yourself, and it's their issue.
Right.
Putting it that it's their issue, that they're not capable of doing, and knowing that loving yourself is first and foremost most important. Because if you love yourself, you feel confident in yourself, and people will flock to you then.
Right. It not even flock to you. I'm a very transparent kind of guy who wants genuine relationships. Who really isn't very materialistic. I mean, would it be nice to have money? Yes, money gives you freedom, money gives you comfort, money gives you some happiness. But I'm not necessarily one of these people that wants like billions of dollars and tons of power. I would really, be satisfied with, a comfortable existence with money and, a loving relationship. That's what I'm after. And
I think most people are after that.
I think there are some people that are just power-hungry, narcissistic, sociopaths, psychopaths, who are just really like hurting people. And that's not us. That's not you or I. We're more genuine. But unfortunately, there are people like that want to be the greatest, guy in the movie industry. That want to be the greatest guy in politics, and
that's power.
Be the greatest guy in business, the greatest guy in entertainment.
It's ego and power and money, and that is an addiction and
unfortunately, capitalism is set up to reward narcissistic sociopaths who
step on others to get what they need.
Who just hurt others, who metaphorically cut other people's necks. You know what I mean? And metaphorically, not literally.
Well, let's talk about the profession in the healthcare field, like doctors. They're supposed to take an oath to heal and protect. But
I do think most people get into the profession of medical to help people. I do think a lot of people get into. You can get a 666 psychiatrist. You can get a psychiatrist who is a monk.
Well, not even a psychiatrist.
But that's improbable. Most people get into the business of medical to help people. I'm talking about some people. Some people lose their way. Some people get burned out. But
some people get greedy with money.
People get greedy with money too. Yeah, and for example, some people overprescribe medications and they don't really care about the story. You know what I mean? So there really is.
They lose they lose their
I mean,
humanity. They lose their humanity.
Right. So some people can just overprescribe medications and just, you know.
But there's got to be a happy medium.
Right.
Because when I cared for patients,
I mean, you can't be friends with your patients. You can't view your patients as your loved one, as your family member.
But you
have to view your patients as if they're your patient and remain professional. Because if your psychiatrist starts behaving like your best friend, quite frankly, that's a recipe for being like Dr. Eugene Landy and Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, a negligent psychiatrist who gets control over your life. A psychiatrist needs to want to help you, but remain emotionally uninvested in your life.
But any doctor that you use, if they become too friendly and too close to you, then they're not objective.
Right.
You have to remain objective. However, when I treated my patients and I gave care,
I
always went over and above if they needed an extra 5 minutes, an extra 10 minutes.
No,
in a professional way.
If you're professional, it's
a professional way. But I didn't walk out of the room and say, if 5 minutes is up. I didn't do that.
Right.
That wasn't who I was. But you can get burned out faster when you give too much.
And that is what it is.